Now, there's a good chance that you, watching or listening to this, will one day be called to serve on a jury. About a 35% chance, in fact, if you live in England. It's something that never crosses our minds before it happens, but it is the pillar of our justice system. So William Blackstone, an 18th century English jurist and professor who produced the treatise on the common law of England, wrote this: "Trial by jury is a privilege of the highest and most beneficial nature, and our most important guardian of public and private liberties." And those words still ring true today. Jurors are selected at random completely in this country from the electoral register. Just names plucked out of a hat. There's no bias, there's no discrimination. It's good old-fashioned luck of the draw for everybody registered to vote. Why am I telling you all this? Well, stick with me. Yesterday, Sunday Times reported that a black family who tragically lost their 14-year-old son when a gang of 5 stabbed him in the chest has called for an end to mostly white juries. This comes after only one of the 5 were found guilty of a lesser charge of manslaughter rather than murder. 4 of them went free. The family believe that because the jury was mostly white, justice had not been done. That was their words. Look, nobody should have to lose a child, of course. It's tragic, especially not in such a heinous way. And I do commend this family for bravely sitting through that trial and trying to get justice for their son. And I'm sorry that it didn't go their way. But I am afraid to say that I think their assertions on juries are ill-judged. A local reverend had this to say following the verdict, quote, "We need ethnically balanced juries. The system is not geared up to give black people justice." Well, let me put this candidly. I do not believe we have a racism problem in the jury system in Britain. America may be a different story, but I don't see evidence for racism in juries in this country. Because let me repeat, jurors are randomly selected from the electoral roll. And it's one hell of a slippery slope to start bringing in identity politics into that system, is it not? I mean, where does it stop? Women get to demand all-female juries. Trans people get to go on trial and demand trans jurors. God knows where it will all end if we started fiddling with this centuries-old system. Now, let me use this as a case in point. Late last year, there was uproar when a nearly all-white jury with only one black member was seated in a Georgia murder trial of 3 white men who shot a black jogger. You may remember this. His name was Ahmaud Arbery. Well, this all-white jury already tells me the verdict of this trial. This is what one observer said on Twitter. Lots of people were saying this kind of thing. One other person said, "Is this all-white jury capable of convicting white vigilante murderers?" So what was the outcome eventually? Well, black man jogging through white neighbourhood, 3 white men shoot him dead, nearly all-white jury. Surely these white jurors, with all their racial biases, would set the killers free. But no, they did not. In fact, that white jury found all 3 white men guilty of felony murder, and they were handed down life sentences. And that's in America, for goodness sakes, the ground zero for racial chaos. So even I was sort of surprised when that verdict came out. And a big piece of research, anyway, by the Ministry of Justice finds that ethnic minority jurors are not underrepresented, and black and white citizens are equally willing to sit on juries. In other words, there is quite literally nothing to see here. Identity politics has already seeped into other once great institutions. Please, please, let it not corrupt what is an already shambolic justice system.